or before we start on exactly what it is, we want to cover that there's going to be a new value proposition when it comes to needing multi-cloud management as a whole. That being, many companies have a lot of their data residing on sources. That being, they need to reduce costs across the board, and this definitely includes IT costs. So by using Cloud Pak for multi-cloud management, those clients can then reduce and optimize their IT spending by using the capabilities that are included in this cartridge package, such as things like asset cost management, automation of IT operations, all within the management solutions portfolio. So IBM Cloud Pak for multi-cloud management is an application-centric, AI-driven IT management platform. So this platform is designed to let you have full visibility and control wherever your workloads run. As I was saying before, multiple companies have data everywhere when it comes to the cloud services they use, top software platforms, et cetera. They want to be able to have that coincide all together and be brought together in one whole cartridge. So this is going to help you achieve application modernization goals that can be set within the business, and this can also be a part of your IT transformation. So with Cloud Pak for multi-cloud management, we're able to provide the tools and capabilities that help infuse AI across your IT operations, enhance your tool chains for the insight, and then we can also automate time-consuming management tasks. So we're also able to enable a acronym called SRE, which is Site Reliability Engineering. And we're going to combine that with IT operations. And this is to help remotely manage the entire development, security, and operations pipeline. And with all of those in one pipeline, we are able to control these with a single control plane. So that pre-integrated automation then again delivers the operational efficiency, which is necessary to ensure your business and its growth. So some solution highlights here. We have hybrid multi-cloud management. As the title suggests here, we're able to manage those virtual machines or VMs. We're able to manage our containers, manage our infrastructure, and this is all from one single unified dashboard. This is regardless of any underlying infrastructure that you might have within your company. And second, security automation. So by automating security, we then can go and automate compliance. We can have strict governance and then policy enforcement at enterprise scale. So that being, we have all these pre-integrated little sections here that go within this cartridge. And with that, we're able to have a bit more compliance when it comes to rules and policies within a company. And third is application-centric modeling. So this is where you can deploy, you can move, and you can also monitor those applications. And this is across with the first solution highlight. You're able to move anything without having within the extra effort to move it from a different cloud source or platform by using the solution. And AI ops automation, this is another automation piece here. So this is going to help you leverage your AI and automation. And that's overall going to just improve your efficiency, lower your total operation costs, and then provide a competitive edge. That being, the edge is going to be basically have automated workflows as opposed to manual workflows. So here's a few use cases, and then I'll cover the user experience as well after we go over the first three use cases. So the first one is hybrid monitoring. So for example, companies, they want a centralized management platform. So by using this platform, we're going to ensure the same level of compliance and governance within these cloud operations, which also relates to the data center. You want to have the same level between both of those. So that being, we want to mitigate security risk, and this is going to use that compliance engine across a hybrid environment. And with the pre-integrated automation within it, we're able to then automate the policies at a microservice level, and then we're able to move the data between those resources again without risking any compliance integrity. So for example, how would customers use hybrid monitoring? So the first step they would do is they would set up their Kubernetes monitoring. That being, they're going to have a data collector, and that's built into Cloud Pak for multi-cloud management. And that's going to gather the detailed info about the performance of the cluster, the Kubernetes cluster. So then we're able to generate those alerts based on abnormal behavior, and then automatically import performance reviews and topology information as well. Secondly, they would set up synthetic monitoring. That being, they're going to set up a synthetic POP or point of presence, and that agent is going to be able to test those web pages and REST APIs that you have within your organization. And that's just going to make sure the applications and microservices are running within those expected response times that you have set. And next, we're able to instrument other cloud native resources. So with these data collectors, we can gain visibility into the application. And by that, we can understand and analyze the performance characteristics. For example, runtime data collectors are also able to provide visibility, whether it's a transactional flow or a topology flow, and that's all within a microservice again. And lastly, for hybrid monitoring, the customer would set up a traditional monitoring agent. So this agent is an on-premise app, and with the infrastructure alongside the native resource or cloud native resources, we can then build in these monitoring agents for either databases, application servers, hypervisors, and much more. The next use case is going to be policy enforcement. So companies are looking to build a development security operations culture. It's going to be short for DevSecOps. So that's going to infuse the infrastructure security, and that's going to go from the application lifecycle on an end-to-end basis. So organizations are then moving again to cloud. And with that, we want to ensure that their hybrid environments of all of their platforms are able to give them a strict policy on large scale, and they want to have consistency across those disparate resources that they have. So by the policy enforcement, we can reduce the burden of maintaining a single source of truth for governance across these hybrid environments that many companies have. And then again, this is also regardless of underlying infrastructure. So again, how would the customer use it? So first, they would define a policy from the governance and risk interface. So there's a neat feature where you can use just one click, and then you can assign the governance and policy creation capabilities. And on this dashboard, you're able to have that built in. And this is all within the cartridge of IBM Cloud Pak for multi-cloud management. Next, they would review the current governance posture. So by reviewing these policies and security postures, this helps them review active container policies, certain violations, other clusters, and much more as well. So what you do is you select the create button, create a new declarative policy, and it's set. Then next, they're going to want to automate that policy deployment. So once it's created, we're going to enter the selected fields for the deployment. And this is, again, going to automate your deployment of policies into the namespace. And then it's going to compute those clusters for you automatically based on your choice. And lastly, they're going to review and enforce. So after that's deployed and created, this board is going to show you the policy as enforced that you've made, making sure there's no violations if there are any. And the dashboard is going to update in real time, which is a neat feature. And this is just going to overall ensure the automated enforcement and environment across your application within your company. And as for application management, the third use case here we want to optimize application performance. It's very simple. We want this containerized software to let the application share their microservices, and that's going to help enhance their efficiency and portability. But then it can also be difficult to isolate these root causes. So these root causes are something when an issue arises within this application management. So this happens especially when the resources are deployed across hybrid environments. So from a customer standpoint, some of the action steps they would take is they want to monitor the 4 standardized golden signals. It's going to be latency, errors, traffic, and saturation. So this is all again at the microservice level. So by eliminating that time-consuming discovery phase, we can use those application management teams to deploy the proper resources to resolve those issues much quicker. So customer standpoint, again, how would they would use it? Another 4-step walkthrough, they're going to get immediate notification of critical events in context. So the incident view notifies that the SRE, or again, the site reliability engineer, of incidents occurring within that application, and then you can get details on the context, again, on the microservice level. Next, they would determine the scope of impact. So with these incidents, the SRE is going to use those golden signals that we were talking about earlier, the latency, errors, traffic, and saturation. So using this perspective of metrics at this level, this is going to allow anyone to troubleshoot the issue without having to be a subject matter expert within that code language. And since they're able to kind of identify that without having to be an expert in that field, next they're going to drill into additional detail for affected service. So with the topology view, we're able to identify the exact point of time where there was an issue with the microservice, and then identify the issue and view the service in its previously healthy state, as you could say, or the state where it was working and had no issues. And then that is going to let you determine that root cause of what's going on. And lastly, we want to automate the runbooks. Runbooks is a suggestion that automatically runs directly from the context of the incident. So by creating a new runbook to automatically troubleshoot, it can then speed up the process for all the similar incidents that have happened in the past.